Welcome to the newest episode of Today's History. Today's episode is about toxic workplace and 5 signs that you're in one by Emily Aries. Emily Aries writes in Forbes magazine, 5 signs of a toxic workplace you should be wary of. Aries laments her own experience in a toxic workspace and the specific things that made it so bad. In her own experience, her creativity was quashed and the environment was rife with double standards. She then goes on to list 5 signs of a toxic workplace based on her own experience. Number 1 is the existence of narcissistic people in positions of power. Aries says that narcissism is often hidden because people attribute its characteristics to being a strong leader. She makes the claim that narcissists don't follow their own rules and they love to be patted on the back and be sucked up to. The next trait she lists is colleagues complaining in secret about work, using company time to communicate on an instant messaging app. She goes on to list transparency, meaning the lack of it in her own experience. She says it's important that employees know what their job is and exactly what they need to complete. Furthermore, she notes that in a workplace where the rules are not fairly applied to everyone is indeed toxic, and one of the more blatant ways toxicity can be seen in the workplace is when punishment is not fairly applied to its transgressors, and that can lead to spitefulness and vengefulness. And her final observation about what makes a toxic workplace is that everyone appears to be sick. Aries says, in quote, high levels of stress are demonstrably bad for your body, leading to digestive problems, immune deficiencies, and increased risk of a heart attack or stroke, end quote. Aries recommends doing significant amounts of research about a company you may join in order to avoid ending up in the situation she once was. Her advice, if you believe you're already in a toxic workplace, leave. I think most of what Aries has to say is accurate, and one thing that I would add that hasn't been mentioned is having a boss or manager in whom nobody has faith. Poor leadership is the primary cause of a toxic workplace. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Thanks for listening to Today's History, and I hope you tune in next week.